नमः पार्वती पतये गोविंद नाम संकीर्तनम्।
My humble obeisance to Sri Ranganathar and Ranganaiki Aiyar of Srirangam. My humble obeisance to Sri Jambukeshwarar and Khilandeshwari of Thiruvanaikka. My humble obeisance to Jagadguru Shankaracharya Sri Vijayendra Saraswati Swami of Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. I thank the Dharma Moolam team for organizing this talk on Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra's Durga Chandrakala Stuti on the eve of Sharanavaratri of this year. And incidentally, today happens to be Durgashtami. Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra is considered as an avatar of Sri Parameshwara himself in Kali Yuga. Twice in Kali Yuga, Bhagavan Sri Dakshinamurti gave up his Maunam and appeared himself in the world of Martyas. Once, he appeared himself as a sannyasi and he was known as Sri Adi Shankar Bhagavatpada. And he appeared himself as a Grihastha Brahmana later on and he was known by the name Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra. Dikshitendra has composed 104 works during his lifetime, and today we have taken Durga Chandrakala Stuti as the subject of discussion for this talk. Before entering into the study of any text, three things are extremely important for us to know. Number one, it is Vaktravailakshanyam. Number two is Prabandhavailakshanyam. And the third one is Pratipadyavailakshanyam. The word Vailakshanyam means the eminence of something, something that distinguishes one entity from the others. So that is known as Vailakshanyam. The word Vaktravailakshanyam means, the word Vaktra means author or speaker. So Vaktravailakshanyam here is, so what was the eminence of Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra? That has to be known. So only when Vaktravailakshanyam is known, we will know who Dikshitendra was, what was his greatness, what was his Pandityam. So Vaktravailakshanyam is extremely important. The second one is Prabandhavailakshanyam. The word Prabandha means text. Only when this is known, we will know what are the salient features of this work of Dikshitendra named Durga Chandrakala Stuti. And the third one is Pratipadya Vailakshanyam. The word Pratipadya means the object of discussion. So here the Pratipadya is Devi Durga. So the Supreme Goddess herself is the Pratipadyam here. Only when this is known, we will know the greatness of Devi. So let us now discuss Vaktravailakshanyam here. Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra was a Nityagni-hotri in his lifetime. He was born in a family of Nityagni-hotris. His father, grandfather, and all his forebears were all Nityagni-hotris. They had performed innumerable yajnas that have been enjoined in the Shrauta Sutras. So all throughout their lifetimes, they had performed innumerable yajnas. His grandfather, Sri Vakshasthalacharya, he was an Advaita Vidyacharya. He had performed great yagas like Mahavratam and Sarvatomukham. His father was Rangarajadhvari. He was also a Nityagni-hotri. And he is said to have performed a yajnam known as Vishvajita, which is something that is very rare. So one in many centuries, one person in many centuries, is said to have performed such yagas. Dikshitendra himself was a Nityagnihotri. He was an exemplar. He was a very great bhakta of Parameshwara. He was born by the blessings of Lord Natarajar in Chidambaram. And at the end of his lifetime, he merged into the deity of Lord Natarajar in Chidambaram. He had a very great devotion towards Lord Shiva. So that he is an Advaita Vidyacharya is very well known. He is also known as Srikantha Mata Pratishthapana, the Acharya who established the philosophy of Srikantha Shivacharya. He made immense contributions to Srikantha Shivacharya school of Shivadvaita Vedanta. Apart from this, he had a very high, very great Pandityam in Vishishtadvaita Vedanta. He had a very great Pandityam in Dvaita Vedanta. He was a great Mimamsa philosopher. Eminent scholars like Khandadevacharya of Kashi, they celebrate Dikshitendra as Mimamsaka Murdhanya, the topmost among the philosophers of Purva Mimamsa Shastram. He was a very great scholar in Sanskrit Vyakaranam or Sanskrit grammar. He was one of the topmost scholars in Alankara Shastram. In Vyakaranam, he was one of the topmost scholars of his time. Or not just his time, of all times. In Alankara Shastra, he was, even today he is considered as one of the topmost scholars in Alankara Shastra. So Alankara Shastra is Sanskrit rhetoric. Apart from this, he was a great scholar in Sanskrit Sahityam. He has written commentary on, an elaborate commentary on Yadavabhyada Mahakavyam of the celebrated Sri Vaishnava Acharya Swami Vedanta Deshika. Apart from this, he has written many innumerable stotra granthas. So among the many different facets of Dikshitendra, there was one another facet which we should all know about. He was also a Shri Vidyopasaka. So once during his lifetime, so most part of his life, so he was only a great Shiva Bhakta and all his works that he wrote. So he only focused on bhakti towards Parameshwara. So once when he was visiting a temple, so after having darshanam of Parameshwara, he went to Ambal's Sannidhi and he was not feeling well. So he happened to fall without his own control. And a very old Brahmana was sitting there. And he asked him, what is wrong with you? What happened to you? So the reply that he gave was, Ashaktamarke. So I'm not feeling well. So the old Brahmana replied, so you keep holding on to Shiva by forgetting Shakti. So that is the reason you are Ashakta. So you have some focus on Shakti as well. Everything will be all right. Saying this, the Brahmana went away. And only then Dikshitendra, Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra realized that he had completely forgotten the lotus feet of Devi. And then tradition says that all the Tithinitya Devis themselves appeared in front of Dikshitendra and instructed him in Shri Vidyopasana. And Dikshitendra is said to have written a work named Shri Vidya Tattva Vivaranam. And this book is not available today. And in the 1930s, it was preserved somewhere in Lahore. So in the library of a Sanskrit university in Lahore, it was preserved until the 1930s. After that, we do not know where this book is. Apart from this, he has written Durga Chandrakala Stuti and then Apita Kuchamba Stavam, a stotram on Apita Kuchamba of Thiruvanaikka. And Dikshitendra himself has written a Sanskrit commentary on Durga Chandrakala Stuti. So this is the unique feature of Dikshitendra. Generally, any scholar or acharya who composes a particular stotra, he never writes commentary, no, he never writes an auto commentary on his own work. But so when we look at the works of Dikshitendra, he has written an auto commentary on his own works. So because if Dikshitendra has not commented, if had Dikshitendra not commented upon his own works, so no, it would have been very difficult for us to understand the meanings of his works. He has written Varadaraja Stavam on Kanchi Varadaraja Perumal, an auto commentary on Varadaraja Stavam, Brahmatarka Stavam on Parameshwara, an auto commentary on Brahmatarka Stavam, Shikharini Mala, this is a stotram on Parameshwara, a commentary on Shikharini Mala, Ramayana Tatparya Sarasangraha Stotram and commentary upon it, Bharata Tatparya Sarasangraha Stotram and a commentary upon it, Pancharatna Stuti and a commentary upon it, Ananda Lahari and a commentary upon it. So in this way, had Dikshitendra not written commentaries on these works, so it would have been very difficult for us to study and understand them. So there are multiple facets of Dikshitendra. Dikshitendra as an Advaita Vidyacharya, Dikshitendra as a Purva Mimamsa, Dikshitendra as an Alankara Shastra Vidwan, Dikshitendra as a scholar par excellence in the Itihasa Puranas. So from each of these facets of Dikshitendra, many different stotras have emerged. From Dikshitendra as a Purva Mimamsaka, we have got Shiva Mahima Kalika Stuti, a wonderful stotram on Parameshwara. From Dikshitendra as a Vedanti, we have got stotras like Mahima Kalika Stuti. Some aspects of it, we also have Vedantic aspects in this. Shikharini Mala, some aspects of Shikharini Mala, Brahmatarka Stavam, Pancharatna Stuti. Apart from this, from Dikshitendra as an Alankara Shastra Vidwan, we have got a beautiful stotram named Varadaraja Stava. He has used innumerable Alankaras in Varadaraja Stava. And from Dikshitendra as a scholar par excellence in Itihasa Puranas, we have got innumerable stotrams like Aditya Stotra Arpnam on Surya Bhagavan, Durga Chandrakala Stuti, Brahmatarka Stavam, Shikharini Mala. So when we look at these stotrams, and the commentary he has written on each of these stotrams, so it will be evident that he had a thorough knowledge on the Valmiki Ramayanam, Mahabharatam, and all the Mahapuranams and Upapuranams. So there is the famous shloka, Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam. So, this shloka says that Shri Adishankara Bhagavad Pada was an embodiment of all the Shrutis, Smritis, and Itihasa Puranas. In the same way, we can experience this guna of Appayya Dikshitendra when we go through all of his Stotra Granthas, Shastra Granthas, and commentaries on his own works. So, I can paraphrase this shloka by saying, Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Dikshitendram Tam Appayam Lokashankaram. So, the second and third halves of the shloka, so I am just paraphrasing it to praise Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra. So, that is the eminence of Dikshitendra. So, in this Durga Chandrakala Stuti, he has summarized, he has given us the essence of the whole of Devi Mahatmya, some important portions of Varaha Purana, some important portions of Harivamsham, which is a Khilabhagam of Mahabharata, some important portions of Vishnu Puranam where Devi's glories have been described, some portions of some chapters from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam where Devi's glories have been described, and one particular mantra from Samaveda. So the essence of all of these ancient literatures have been packed tightly into the wonderful stotram named as Durga Chandrakala Stuti by Dikshitendra. So the word Shrutivakyam, the way he has given us the Shrutivakyams to teach us the glories of the Devi. So when we look at the 17th shlokam of Durga Chandrakala Stuti, the Samavidhi Brahmanam, one mantra from Samaveda, so the way he has beautifully condensed it into a shloka form in the form of a stuti, so it will be so marvelous. So for those of them who are not qualified to study the Vedas, Dikshitendra has been extremely merciful by compiling a wonderful stotram like Durga Chandrakala Stuti. For those who are not qualified to study the Vedas, he has been extremely merciful by composing stotras like Aditya Stotra Ratnam. So there, even in Aditya Stotra Ratnam, no, we've got some mantras from Shatapatha Brahmanam of Shukla Yajurveda, Taittiriya Brahmanam of Krishna Yajurveda. They have been condensed and given in Aditya Stotra Ratnam. The same way in Durga Chandrakala Stuti, the way he has compressed many Shruti Vakyams, Smriti Vakyams, and Itihasa Purana Vakyams. So we can easily say that Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Dikshitendram Tam Appayam Lokashankaram. So that is his eminence. Apart from being a Nityagnihotri, apart from having a very great Bhava Bhakti on Parameshwara, apart from having Upasana of Shiva in his daily routine, apart from having Shiva Puja on a daily basis, and apart from having a complete Sharanagati towards Shiva, in spite of all that, he was also a Shrividya Upasaka. So that is the eminence of Dikshitendra. And the next one is Prabandha Vailakshanyam, the greatness of the text of Durga Chandrakala Stuti. So there is another PPT I would like to share. So this is, so here if we go through the way Dikshitendra has organized Durga Chandrakala Stuti, so we can know that in the Mangalacharanam, this is a condensation of Devi Mahatmyam, Harivamsham and Varaha Puranam. And then in shlokas 2 to 8, he has given the essence of Devi Mahatmyam. And then in shlokas 9 and 10, he has described, he has given the essence of Varaha Puranam. In shloka 11, he has given the essence of selected portions of Varaha Puranam, Harivamsham and Vishnu Puranam. Shlokas 12, 13 and 14. Certain portions, some portions of Harivamsham. And then 15 and 16, some portions from selected chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam's 10th canto. And then the 17th shloka is Samavidhi Brahmanam from Samaveda. And then the 18th shloka gives the Phalastuti. So this is the way Dikshitendra has organized the text. And while saying the Phalastuti, he says, Deshakaleshu Dushteshu Durga Chandrakala Stuti Sandhyayor Anusandheya Sarvapad Vinivruttaye Deshakaleshu Dushteshu. So when the Desha and Kala have been extremely hostile, this Durga Chandrakala Stuti has to be chanted. So it has to be chanted at the time of Pratah Sandhya and Sayam Sandhya. Sarvapad Vinivruttaye, he says, to overcome all difficulties. So when a person has any financial difficulties in his life, he or she can chant Durga Chandrakala Stuti. So when there is any problem in workplace, when there is any problem in family, so when a person has health problems, so anything that has that puts him or her into very great difficulties, so when Durga Chandrakala Stuti is chanted meticulously with lots of bhakti and shraddha, so a person can come out of it. So this is the organization of the text of Durga Chandrakala Stuti. And now we will go to the Pratipadya Vailakshanyam. So Pratipadya Vailakshanyam, so it is Bhagavati Durga, so she is the Pratipadyam here. So in all of our literatures, so in the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Itihasa Puranams, so in the works of all of our Acharyas, starting from Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavatpada, Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra, Sri Sadashiva Brahmendra, and great Mahatmas like Sri Bhaskara Raya. So in all of their works, so it is very clear that the supreme being, the supreme Brahman has been described in two forms. One is the Nirvishesham Brahman, the other one is Savishesham Brahman. Nirvishesham Brahman is the supreme impersonal Brahman which is devoid of names, which is devoid of attributes, forms and all that. This is considered as the superior Brahman. And the other form aspect of Brahman is Savishesham Brahman. So this Savishesham Brahman is this could only be the object of worship, any form of worship. So the Saguna Brahman is of different forms. For the sake of blessing all the samsaris, all the jivatmas who have been wandering in this vast ocean of samsara, the supreme impersonal Brahman takes multiple forms. It takes the form of Vishnu, it takes the form of Parameshwara, it takes the form of Devi, it takes the form of Vinayaka, it takes the form of Subramanya. And in this way, there are many different forms of Vishnu, innumerable forms of Parameshwara, innumerable forms of Devi, Vinayaka, Subramanya. And in this way, the world has been blessed. And the Shastras say that the form of the Brahman, so the form of Saguna Brahman is Chakshuragrahyam and Jyotirmayam. The word Chakshuragrahyam means something that cannot be perceived by the gross eyes. Jyotirmayam is something that is of the form of Jyotish, something that is extremely effulgent, something that could be perceived only by the Atma, only after realization, self-realization. And Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada explains in his Brahma Sutra Bhashyam. So there is an Adhikaranam named Antastad Dharma Adhikaranam in Brahma Sutras. In chapter 1 of Brahma Sutra, chapter 1, Padam 1, there is Antastad Dharma Adhikaranam. And under that Adhikaranam, under one sutra, so he says, Syat Parameshwarasyapi Ichhavashat Mayamayam Rupam Sadhakanugrahartham. Even Parameshwara has a form. And how is this form? So he says it is Mayamayam Rupam. So the word Mayamayam means it is made up of Maya. So the Mayat Pratyayam has been used here. So it means it is full of Maya. So Maya is of two forms. So there is so when Brahman is associated with the supreme Nirvishesham, Brahman is associated with Maya. So there are two forms in which Maya associates with Brahman. Maya in the form of Vidya and Maya in the form of Avidya. So when Maya in the form of Vidya gets associated with the supreme Brahman, it becomes Ishvara. When Maya in the form of Avidya gets associated with Brahman, it becomes Jivatma. So that is the difference between Jivatma and Ishvara. So when he says Ichhavashata, the word Ichhavashata here is very important. So Bhagavan takes forms the way he wishes. Whereas for Jivatmas like us, the Janma which we have got, the species in which we are born, the place where we are born, nothing is in our control. So we take birth as a result of our Purva, the karmas we have performed in our past life. So the Janma which we get is not under our control. Whereas the Janma, when Bhagavan takes a Janma or when he takes any avatar or any form, it is completely under his control. That is the way the word Ichha has been used here. Ichhavashada, this is very, very important. And the word Sadhakanugrahartham, it is purely for the sake of blessing the sadhakas in this material world. Bhagavan takes many different forms. And the same idea has been conveyed by Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra in his work known as Shivatattva Vivekam. And Shivatattva Vivekam is a commentary on his own stotram named Shikhareni Mala. And most of Dikshitendra's stotras, these are actually Shastra Granthas or Vada Granthas that mimic Stotra Granthas. That is how he has written. So in Shikhareni Mala, so his commentary on Shikhareni Mala, he conveys the same idea. Evam bhutasyapi brahmanaha. For Brahman, which is of this, which has this kind of a nature, lokanugrahaika rasikataya. So for the sake of blessing the loka, for the sake of blessing the jivatmas in the loka, lokanugraha ekaha eva. So the word lokanugrahika rasikata is very, very important. So it is only for this purpose, kalpita gunadi vibhagam, mayopadhikam sarvottaram sagunam rupam nirupayati. He says while explaining one particular shloka of Shikharini Mala. So the word mayopadhikam means, so it is influenced by the qualities of Maya. All the designations of Maya, so it takes all the way, many different designations of Maya. It takes kalpita gunadi vibhagam, so it gets split into varied forms. It takes many different gunas, it takes many different akaras, many different namas and so on. So that is kalpita gunadi vibhagam mayopadhikam sarvottaram sagunam rupam. And after explaining this, he begins his shloka. Gunatito pitvam saguna iva maya shabalitaha parishkurvan sambam vapurasita kantham trinayanam abhikhyabhikhyataha shivabhava mukhabhir vijayase niyanta lokanam saharihara panke bhuvam, he says. So gunatito pitam, he says, hey Parameshwara, although you are transcendental to the all the gunas that are manifest in this material world, saguna iva maya shabalitaha, by the association of maya, you appear to be saguna. And this so this vakya applies to all the forms of devatas. All the different forms of Vishnu are maya shabalitam brahma. So Matsyavatara, Kurmavatara, all the Ramakrishna avatars, so all of these are Maya Shabalitam Brahma. So all of these are manifestations of the Supreme Impersonal Brahman. Different manifestations of the Supreme Impersonal Brahman are the different forms of Vishnu. In the same way, Parameshwara has many different forms, and all of his forms are Maya Shabalitam Brahma. Manifestations of the Supreme Impersonal Brahman, personal. And then Devi has innumerable forms. So we have many different forms of avatara. There have been many different avatars of Devi like Nanda, Raktadanta, Ayonija, Shakambhari, Bhima Devi, Durga Devi, Brahmari. So all of these are Maya Shabalitam Brahma. Personal manifestations of the Supreme Impersonal Brahman. In the same way, Vinayakar and Subramanya, even they have many different forms, and all of their forms are personal manifestations of the same one and the same Supreme Impersonal Brahman. And then in his work known as Madhvatantra Mukhamardanam, so he says, Apicha Bhagavaneko Nekastanus Tanumanapi. The same meaning has been conveyed in his work known as Madhvatantra Mukhamardanam in Advaita Vedanta. In the same way, Sri Bhaskararaya Dikshitendra, who was a great Mahatma and who has a very eminent place in our Shankaracharya Sampradaya. So even he has, just like Srimad Appayya Dikshitendra was Nityagnihotri, he performed all the Shrauta karmas in his lifetime, a great Shiva Bhakta, an Advaita Vidyacharya, a great scholar in Purva Mimamsa, a great scholar in Vyakaranam Shastras, and a very great scholar in the Itihasa Puranas. Shri Bhaskararaya Dikshitendra was also one such person. We shouldn't call him as just Bhaskararaya. We should call him as Bhaskararaya Dikshitendra. He was also a Nityagnihotri. People know of him as a great Sri Vidyopasaka. People know of him as the author of Bhashyam on Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. Apart from this, he was a Nityagnihotri. He performed all the yajnas that have been enjoined in the Shrauta Sutras. He performed the yajnams like Vajapayya. In Kashi, he performed his Vajapayya yajna. He was also an Advaita Vidyacharya. He was a great Purva Mimamsa scholar, Sri Bhaskararaya Dikshitendra. And then he was a great scholar in Vyakaranam Shastram. So just like Dikshitendra has many different facets, the same way Bhaskararaya Dikshitendra also has multiple facets. Apart from this, he was a great Devi Upasaka and great Devi Bhakta. Bhaskara Dikshitendra has written a commentary on Ganesha Sahasranama Stotram, and the commentary is known as Khadyota. And this Ganesha Sahasranama Stotram appears in the Ganesha Purana. This is an Upapuranam. Ganesha Puranam is an Upapuranam. There he says, Sagunam tu Rupam, Upasakanugrahartham, Kalpitameva, iti Upasaka Ruchivai Chitriyana, Nanavidham, Sagunam tu Rupam, the form of Saguna Brahman, Upasakanugrahartham, for the sake of blessing the Upasakas, Kalpitam eva. So it is of, it is Mahikam. So it is not Shashvatam, the Murti, all the different forms of Saguna Brahman. So we don't consider these as Shashvata. So in our Sampradaya, this is how our Acharyas have taught us. So he says, Iti, in this way, Upasaka Ruchibai Chitriyana, based on the taste of Upasakas, it is of many different kinds. And the word, the Upasaka Ruchibai Chitriyam is very, very important here. So just like, each Upasaka has, one Ishta Devata. So based on which Upasaka, so which Devata is, dear to him, so many different forms are manifest. So this is very, very important here. And then he says, Teshu, among them, among the different aspects of Saguna Brahman, Adityam Ambikam Vishnum Gananatham Maheshwaram. Aditya is Surya Bhagavan, Ambika is Devi, Vishnu Gananatha is Vinayaka, Maheshwara is Parameshwara. Iti Smrityukta Rupani. So those rupas that have been shown to us in the Vedavakyas, in the Upanishads, in the Smritis, in the Itihasa Purana. So these are Smrityukta Rupani. Tattadavantara Murti Bhedascha. So the different murtis that come under each of these devatas. Tattat janmaya tattat samskaranugunyena upasyani. So these are these many different murtis. No, they become the object of each upasaka based on his janma, based on his samskaras and so on. So sarvepi ishvaraha eva. So all of these are ishvaras. So they are aspects of Saguna Brahman. So one cannot say that Surya Bhagavan is not a, no, he doesn't have Brahma Bhava. Surya Bhagavan is a manifestation of Brahman. One cannot say that Devi doesn't have Brahma Bhava. Lalitambika Devi is also an aspect of the Supreme Brahman. One cannot say that Vishnu is a Jivatma and other, Paraviv. Shiva alone is the Supreme. So even Vishnu has a Brahma Bhava. Vinayakar Pillayar has Brahma Bhava. Parameshwaran has Brahma Bhava. Subramanya Deva has Brahma Bhava. So one cannot say that any of them does not have Brahma Bhava. So all of these, that is why he says Sarvepi Ishvaraha eva. And after saying this, he says Atha eva Purananyapi. It is for this reason we have got many different Puranas. Tattadupasaka Anujighrikshaya, for the sake of blessing the Puranas. So for the sake of blessing the Upasakas, the Rishis have given, they were classified and given the Puranas for the society in this way. In some Puranas, the worship of Vishnu is is focused. In some Puranas, the worship of Parameshwara is focused. In some Puranas, the worship of Devi is focused. In Puranams like Mudgala Puranam, Ganesha Puranam, Brahmavevarta Puranam, the worship of Vinayaka is focused. In some Puranas, the worship of Subramanya Deva is focused. In this way, we have got multiple Puranas, Tattadupasakanu Jighrikshaya, for the sake of guiding each of the Upasakas. In this way, it is a blessing on each of the Upasakas who worship different aspects of Brahman. So in this way, we've got Puranams like Markandeya Puranam, which has Devi Mahatmyam in it, and then Devi Bhagavata Puranam. So all of these Puranams have Devi Bhakti as the most important thing. In the same way, we have many different Shakta Upanishads, just like we've got Vaishnava Upanishads, Shaiva Upanishads. We also have Shakta Upanishads. So we've got, so in the Shruti, we've got many different, many divisions for each of these devatas. In the Smriti Granthas, we've got in the same way. All the Itihasa Purana Granthas, we've got many different divisions for the worship of each of the devatas. So this is about Pratipadya Vailakshan. So now we go into the first shloka. Let me share the other PPT 1 second. The first shloka, is the PPT available, appearing for you? Vedho Harishwara Stutyam Vihartrim Vidyabhodare. So this is the first shloka. Yeah. So the first shloka is this. Vedho Harishwara Stutyam Vihartrim Vidyabhodare Harapraneshwarim Vande Hantrim Vibudha Vidvisham. Vedho Harishwara Stutyam Aham Tam Devim Vande. So I worship that goddess Durga. So Vedho Harishwara Stutyam is the first Visheshanam, the first adjective. So it means Devi is the object of worship of the word Vedaha means Brahmadeva. She is the object of the worship of Stuti of Brahma. She is the object of Lord Vishnu Stuti. She is the object of Parameshwara Stuti. So that is why he says Vedho Harishwara Stutyam. And then Vindhyabhudhare Vihartrim. So she sports on the Vindhya mountain. So that is why she is known as Vindhyachala Nivasini. And then Harapraneshwari. So she is the vital pranas of Parameshwara. So she is the mistress of the vital pranas, the Pancha Pranas, Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. So of the 5 pranas of Parameshwara, she is the one who controls the 5 pranas of Parameshwara. So without her, there is no Parameshwara. And then Vibudha Vidvisham Hantrim. The word Vibudhaha means Devas, the residents of Svargaloka. Vidvisha means the enemies of the Devas. The Asuras means Vibudha Vidvishaha. Hantri is the slayer. So one who slays the Asuras is Hantrim, Vibudha Vidvisham Hantri. So when we look at the shloka without studying the commentary of Dikshitendra, so we may not appreciate the depth of it. So the Rahasyarthas which he has kept in his mind, we wouldn't have known about it. So it will appear as if he is just simply saying something that Brahma has praised Devi, Vishnu has praised Devi, and Parameshwara has praised Devi. So we may not appreciate the Itihasa Purana basis of these words. Every single word which Dikshitendra has used in the whole of Durga Chandrakala Stuti, so it represents a larger passage of body, of shlokas from the Itihasa Purana. So behind each word he has used in Durga Chandrakala Stuti, there is a very large number of shlokas from the Puranas. So here, behind the word Vedhastutya, behind this particular word, we have shlokas 72 to 87 in the first chapter of Devi Mahatmyam. So there Brahmadeva, so he offers a stuti to Devi. So the whole of these, behind this one particular word, Vedha, so Vedhastutya, so many shlokas are there behind this one particular word. And behind the word Haristutya, so shlokas 27 to 25 of Vishnu Parva of Harivamsha Puranam. So in this particular adhyayam, so there is one manifestation of Parameshwari named Nidra Devi. So she is the goddess of sleep. So all living entities from Brahma to down to the ant, so all living entities have something known as sleep. It is because of Nidra Devi. So what, no, before Krishna Avataram, so Lord Vishnu goes to, no, Devi, and he says there were 6 demons named Garbhasuras. So he asked Devi, to put the 6 Garbhasuras into the womb of Devaki. And once they were immediately they are born, so he, instructs her to see to it that all of these 6 Garbhasuras are killed immediately. So it is as per the plans of Vishnu and Devi that all the 6 Garbhasuras are they are made to take birth as the first 6 babies of Devaki and Vasudeva. And immediately after their birth, they all are killed. So the rest of the story is known to us. And before giving this instruction of putting the 6 Garbhasuras into the womb of Devaki, Lord Vishnu, he offers praise to Devi. And Dikshitendra has kept these shlokas in mind while composing the word Haristutya. So behind the word Haristutya here, shlokas 27 to 25 of Harivamsha Puranam Vishnu Parva. So these many shlokas are there. And behind the word Ishvarastutya, we have shlokas 45 to 57 of Varaha Puranam. So one particular chapter of Varaha Puranam where Parameshwara, he makes a stuti on Devi. So in this way, if we go through the commentary of the Sanskrit commentary of Dikshitendra, so without our own knowledge, we will be greatly inspired to study each and every single chapter of all the Puranas. So when you study Durga Chandrakala Stuti commentary, so we'll have the inspiration to study every single portion of all the Puranams that deal with Devi Bhakti. So every single Puranam, portion of all the Puranams that deal with the pastimes and glories of Devi, we'll have the inspiration to study that. So when we study Aditya Stotra Ratnam and Dikshitendra's commentary on it, we'll have the inspiration to go and study each and every portion of all the 18 Puranams, which deal with Surya Bhagavan. So that is how Dikshitendra has written works. His works are extremely inspiring. So only when we make a deep immersion, we'll be lost into the ocean of the vast ocean of Itihasa Puranas. So the beauty of the Itihasa Puranas, we'll have the ardent desire of enjoying it by studying his works. And then shlokas 2 to shloka 8, he has summarized the Devi's glories described in Devi Mahatmya. Evlo time irukku enakku? So it's 8:42 now. Evlo time irukku?
You can just use your discretion, I think. It's okay. Ninga solra varaikku solunga. Whatever time you want to take.
Okay. So the next shloka. So now we are entering into shlokas 8 to 10. So this is one group of shlokas within Durga Chandrakala Stuti. So it is from the second shloka that the original, the most important portion of the shloka begins. And the word Chandrakala here is very, very important. So there is a Sanskrit lexicon named Amarakosha. This is a very famous Sanskrit dictionary, Sanskrit lexicon. So there Amarakosha says that Kalatu Shodasho Bhagaha, 1/16th part of anything is known as Kala. And Chandra, so the moon has 16 Kalas. Starting from Prathama to Amavasya, it has got 16 Kalas. So the shlokas 2 through 17. So the 16 shlokas, so let us forget shloka 1 and shloka 18 of the Durga Chandrakala Stuti. The last shloka number 18. Let us delete shloka number 18. Let us delete shloka number 1. So we will get 16 shlokas. Shlokas 2 to 17. So the 16 shlokas are there. So because there are 16 shlokas in this work, he has named it very beautifully as Durga Chandrakala Stuti. And tradition says that each of the Tithinitya Devi, she taught all the Shakta Tantras to Dikshitendra. So, it is a very great significance here. So, the second shloka, this is the second shloka. Abhyarthanena sarasiruha sambhavasya tyaktvodita bhagavadakshi pidhana leela Vishveshwari vipadapagamane purastat mata mamastu madhukaita bhayor nihantri. Sarasiruha sambhavasya. So sarasir, the word sarasiruham means Padma. Padma pushpam is sarasiruham, lotus. So lotus born, so somebody who is born out of lotus is sarasiruha sambhava. So Brahmadeva is known as sarasiruha sambhava. So at the earnest prayers of sarasiruha sambhava, Lord Brahma, abhyarthana means by the earnest prayers, tyaktva bhagavad akshipidhana leelam. So the word Bhagavan is Bhagavan Vishnu. Akshi is the eyes of Bhagavan Vishnu. So Pidhanam is closing of the eyes is Pidhanam. So Bhagavan, the Nidra of Bhagavan Vishnu. So that itself is a Leela. So when the world was perturbed by two asuras named Madhu and Kaitabha, so all the devatas became perturbed. So when they went and approached Brahmadeva, Brahmadeva approached Devi. So Bhagavad Akshipidhana Leela. So after that, at the earnest prayers of Brahmadeva, so Devi, so she woke Bhagavan Vishnu up. And then he says, Vishveshwari, Sa Mata, Madhukaita Bhayoho Nihantri. That Supreme Mother who slayed the two asuras, Madhu and Kaitabha. Mata Sa Mata, Mama Purastat Astu. May that Jagannata, may that Devi appear in front of me. And then he says, Vipadapagamane. So, apagamana means to destroy something. Vipat, the word vipat is calamity. So to remove all calamities. So let Devi appear herself in front of me. So this is the meaning of this shloka. And behind this particular shloka, we have chapter 1 of Devi Mahatmya. So all the contents of Devi Mahatmyam chapter 1 have been condensed into the shloka, the second shloka of Durga Chandrakala Stuti. Abhyarthanena sarasiruha sambhavasya tyaktvodita bhagavadakshi pidhana leelam Vishveshwari vipadapagamane purastat mata mamastu madhukaita bhayor nihantri. So especially when we study the commentary on this, and comparatively, the commentary will be very easy to understand. So in the whole of this Durga Chandrakala Stuti, Dikshitendra has not used extremely difficult Sanskrit. The language which he has used in Durga Chandrakala Stuti and Aditya Stotra Ratnam, these two stotras, it is an extremely simple Sanskrit. Whereas if we go through the language he has used in other stotra, for example, Ananda Lahari, both the language as well as the content is extremely difficult. So at the beginning he will start with Satyajnanadi mantro ditamakhilamapi vyavaritum pravritta Krishnapyananda valli tyabagatamupari granthata sutra kashtan adu ketale bayandu pedvadu enna solradhu. Before studying his Ananda Lahari, one has to he must have studied the whole of Upanishads properly from a guru. He must have studied Vedanta Shastram properly from a guru. He must have studied Brahma Sutrams thoroughly. And again, two schools of Vedanta. One is Adi Shankaracharya's Advaita Vedanta on one hand, Shrikantacharya's Shivadvaitam on the one hand, Shrikantacharya's Brahma Sutra Bhashyam. So the Bhashyams of two Acharyas, Adi Shankara Bhagavad and Shrikanta Shivacharya. So the Artha Nirnayam on some portions of the Brahma Sutras. So that has been deliberated upon by Dikshitendra in his Ananda Lahari. So it is not very easy to understand, and understanding Ananda Lahari is a very, very difficult task. So it is not for the layman. So in the same way, words like Brahmatarkastava and Shikharani Mala, so the way he has composed it is very difficult. In the same way, in works like Varadarajastavam, he has used extremely difficult alankaras, the rhetorics, figures of speech that are extremely difficult to study and understand. Even the most expert Alankara Shastra Vidwan, even they may find it difficult to comprehend some of the Alankaras which Dikshitendra has used in Varadarajastavam. So that kind of Dikshitendra has completely refrained from using any single Alankaram in his Durga Chandrakala Stuti. In the same way, in his Aditya Stotra Ratnam also, he has never used one single Alankara. So that is the beauty of Durga Chandrakala Stuti. And in the same way, Dikshitendra was, he was a very great expert in composing, polemical works, Vada Granthas. So in many of his Stotra Granthas, he has his texts like Shikharani Mala, Brahmatarkastava, Ramayana Tatparya Sara Sangra Stotram, Bharata Tatparya Sara Sangra Stotram, Pancharatna Stutis. All of these are polemical works, Vada Granthas, which mimic Stotra Granthas. So to establish the supremacy of Parameshwara, to establish the fact that Parameshwara is also an aspect of Brahman, he has written all of these works. So, in spite of having such a great ability as a Vedanti, Dikshitendra has never used any single Vada in Durga Chandrakala Stuti or Aditya Stotra Ratnam. So, he has completely kept away those, many of his facets aside, and then he has begun to write this Stotram. Only two aspects, two facets of him are manifest while composing this Stotram. One is Dikshitendra as a scholar in Itihasa Puranam par excellence, and the other one is Dikshitendra, a humble and devout Devi Bhakta. So only these two facets of Dikshitendra, only by integrating these two facets, he has composed this wonderful Stotram, Durga Chandrakala Stuti. And then the third shloka is Prangirjareshu Nihitaihi Vijashaktileshaihi Eki Bhavat Bhiruditakhila Lokaguptyai Sampanna Shastra Nikaracha Tadayudhasthaihi Mata Mamastu Mahishantakari Purastat. Once upon a time, in some bygone era, Nirjareshu, when the Devas, within the Devas, Nihitaihi, so Nihitaihi, Nijashakti Leshaihi, Devi has innumerable potencies, and all of her potencies were placed in many Devatas. Some of her potency was placed in Vishnu, some in Rudra, some in Indradi Devas. In each of the Devas, each of her potency was placed within them. And once again, all of her potencies which were placed in each of the Devas, they came together and they joined together to form Eki Bhavat Bhihi. And when all the Tejas situated in each of the Devatas, so came together and joined to form one single Jyotis. And that Jyotis emerged to be Devi. And that Parameshwari, it was that Lalita Parameshwari, it was she who went on to destroy Mahishasura. And Eki Bhavat Bhihi Udita. Udita means she emerged. Akhila Loka Guptyai. For the sake of protecting the entire universe. And then he says, Sampanna Shastra Nikaracha Tadayudhasthaihi. Tata means Tesham Ayudhasthaihi. So in each of the weapons of each of the Devas, so one particular Shakti was there, one particular potency was there. And with all of that, and Devi was, endowed with all of that. And Sa Mata, Mahishantakari Mata, that slayer of Mahishasura, may that goddess appear in front of me. So this is shloka number 3. And here, Dikshitendra has summarized the whole of chapter 2 of Devi Mahatmya. So if there is anybody who has, who used to do Chandi Parayanam, so when I know when you have done a lot of Chandi Parayanam, when you have studied the meaning of from a guru, and then you listen to this shloka and study the Sanskrit commentary of Dikshitendra upon it, you will enjoy chapter 2 of Devi Mahatmya. அவ்வளோ நன்னா இருக்கும். இதை படிச்சுட்டு அதை படிக்கணும், அதை படிச்சுட்டு திருப்பி இது வந்து படிக்கணும். So அந்த மாதிரி repeatedly when you keep doing it, it's a very great bliss. And then the fourth shloka is Praleya Shailatanaya Tanukanti Sampat Koshodita Kuvalayat Vicharudeha Narayani Namadabhipsita Kalpavalli Supritimavahatu Shumbhani Shumbhahantri. So, Krishna Patha, there are many different passages of Devi Mahatmyam that have been given here. So, if we go through each of these, it's far beyond the scope of this 1 hour lecture. So, I'm just telling the gist of each of the shlokas here. So, it says, once upon a time, Devi was born as the daughter of mountain Himavat Parvata Raja Himavan, and she was born as she appeared herself in the form of a brilliant effulgence. So, and that brilliant effulgence that emanated from her body, and then apart, so this is Pralaya. The word Pralaya is Pralaya Shailaha means the dewy mountain. So Pralaya means snow, the snow-clad mountain Himavan, Himalaya Parvata. Tasyatanaya, the daughter of Himalaya Parvata. Tasyaha Tanukanti Sampat, from the effulgence of that Uma, the Haimavati Uma, Devi was emerged. And then Kuvalaya Chavicharu Deha. And Kuvalaya is water lily. Kuvalaya Chavihi means the effulgence, the color of Kuvalaya is water lilies, Kuvalaya Chavi. So the effulgence of Devi who emerged from her former form, so she was as resplendent as the form of Kuvalaya. So this Devi was known as Kaushitaki or Gauri. And that Narayani, that goddess Narayani, Namadabhipsita Kalpavalli, who's a Kalpalata, who's a wish-yielding creeper to all those who bow down to her. And then Shumbhani Shumbhahantri, that slayer of Shumbhasura and Nishumbhasura, Supritim Avahatu, let her give me immense joy. So in this particular shloka, so he has condensed Shumbhani Shumbhavadha that has been described in chapters 5 to 10 of Devi Mahatmyam's Madhyama Charitam. Apart from this, there is a Vayaviya Samhita of Shiva Mahapurana. Selected chapters from this Vayaviya Purana, so those chapters have also been condensed here. So if we have a separate session for each of these shlokas, it will be 2 to 3 hour lecture for one shloka alone. Now so much of Itihasa Purana Kathas have been embedded into this one particular shloka. And then the fifth shloka is Vishveshwariti Mahishantakariti Yasyaha Narayanityapicha Nama Bhirankitani Suktani Pankaja Bhuvacha Surarvibhishcha Drishtani Pavakamukhayishcha Shivam Bhajetam. Vishveshwariti as Vishveshwari, as Mahishantakariti, as Mahishantakari, Narayani iti as Narayani. So these are specific shlokas that appear in Devi Mahatmyam. Specific shlokas of Prathama Charitam, Madhyama Charitam and Uttama Charitam. So these are they also have mantra shastras embedded within them. So these are not mere shlokas of Purana shlokas that are chanted. So the whole of Devi Mahatmya is also mantra shastra. So that is the reason, the best practice to chant Devi Mahatmyam is to take proper Sri Vidya Diksha approach, proper Sri Vidya Guru, and then take Diksha from him, take blessings from him, and then start Parayanam as per the directions of qualified Guru. So many mantras have, there are many mantras behind these shlokas of Devi Mahatmya. So he says, I worship Tam Shivam Aham Bhaje, I worship that goddess Shiva, Yasyaha Namani, so whose names, Yasyaha Suktani, so the word Suktani means whose stutis have been engraved in hymns such as Vishveshwariti, Mahishantakariti, Narayaniti. So it is by, and these stutis have been seen by Brahmadeva, and then by the Devas and Suras. Pankaj who means Brahmadeva. Surarshi Bhisha, Suraha means Devaha, the Devas. Rishayaha means the Vedic Maharishis. Suraha cha Rishayascha Surarshaya. Taihi means Surarshibhihi. By the gods and sages, one particular mantra the Stuti was seen, and then Pavakamukhaischa by Agnideva and others. Drishtani, Suktani, some Suktas were revealed to Brahmadeva. So these Suktas are eternal. These, so the Suktas that have been, that appear in the Purana Vakyams of Devi Mahatmyam, they were actually, revealed to Brahmadeva. They were revealed to the Ganas of Devas and Rishis separately. And then some of them were revealed to the Agnideva and others separately. And Brahmadrishta Stuti, this is found in Prathama Charitam of Devi Mahatmyam. Devarshi Drishta Suktam is found in the Madhyama Charitam chapter 4. And in Uttama Charitam, Ajnati Drishta Suktam, so that is seen in chapters 11 and 12 of Uttama Charitam. And then the sixth shloka says, Utpatti Daityahanana Stavanatmakani Samrakshakan Yakila Bhuta Hitaya Yasyaha Suktanya Shesha Nigamanta Vidah Pathanti Tam Vishwamataram Ajasram Abhishtavini Tam Vishwamataram Ajasram Abhishtavini. I keep offering praise unto that goddess of the mother, that goddess of the universe. Oh no, over and over again, repeatedly. Ajasra means over and over again. Vishwamataram. So Vishwam is universe. Mata, Vishwamata is the mother of the universe. Abhishtavini means I offer my prayers to her. Yasyaha Suktani. So whose Suktas have been praised by Ashesha Nigamanta Vidaha. So by those are recited by those who are conversant with the whole of Vedanta. Such sages, they keep repeating these suktas for the benefit of all living beings in this universe. Akhila Bhuta Hitaya, this is very, very important. Akhila Bhuta means for Akhila Bhutas, all living entities. Hitaya for the benefit of all living entities. Those Maharshis who were conversant with Vedanta, so they keep repeating the suktas of Devi. And these suktas are Sambrakshakani, they are extremely protective. So they protect the whole universe. And then Utpatti Daityahananastavanatmakani, the word Utpatti, in this stotra, in this shloka, all the 13 chapters have been described here. And especially, those avatars like Nanda, Raktadanta, Ayonija, Shakambhari, Durga Devi, Bhima Devi, Bhramari, Shatakshi. So all of these avatars of Devi have been described at the end, the last. So all of these passages of Devi Mahatmya have been kept in mind by Dikshitendra, and then he has composed this shloka Utpatti Daitya Havana Stavanatmakani. So this is very, very important. And then, so with this I'm finishing. Let me go to the 14th and 15th and 16th shlokas. So here he says, so in these two shlokas, the glories of Devi described in Bhagavatam have been described. 10th chapter, 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So there he says, Papa Pulastyatanayaha Punarukshito Mam Adhyapi Hartumayamagata Ityuditam Yatsevanena Bhayavindirayavadhutam Tamadideva Taruni Sharanam Gatosmi. Papa Pulastyatanayaha. This is about Rukmini's distress. So when her brother, elder brother, so when he fixed her marriage with Shishupala, Rukmini became extremely perturbed. And then seeing at Shishupala, he says, Papaha Pulastyatanayaha, the son of Pulastya Ravana, the sinful Ravana, Pulastyatanaya, Punarutthitaha, he has appeared himself once again in the form of Shishupala. So in the two avatars, Jaya Vijaya, they took the form of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And then they took the form of Ravana Kumbhakarna in Rama Avatara. Now in Krishna Avatara, they took the form of Shishupala and Dattavaktra. So he says, once again, this wicked Ravana has appeared himself as Shishupala. And Adhyapi, even today, he has come in the form of Shishupala to abduct me. In my previous avatar as Sita Devi, he abducted me and he took me to Sri Lanka. And now, so from in the Rukmini Avatara, now in this Avatara, once again he has come to take me away from my Lord. Adhyapi Hartum Ayamagatha, once again he has come to take me away. Iti Uditam Bhayam. So the bhayam which, the fear which appeared, uditam means appeared. The fear, the bhayam from the third part of third quarter, that has to be taken. So this kind of fear that appeared in the mind of Rukmini Devi, the word Indira means Lakshmi Devi. So in Gopika Gaitam, the shloka says, Jayate te dhikam Janmana Vrajaha Shrayata Indira. So the word Indira, Atra Shrayate, Indira means Lakshmi Devi. So in that shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, it means Shrayate. So Lakshmi Devi resides here permanently. So Atra Shashvadatrahi. Lakshmi Devi resides here permanently. So Indira means Lakshmi Devi. So many people, the name Indira is very common. So the word Indira means Lakshmi. But we pronounce it, people pronounce the name wrongly as Indra. So it shouldn't be pronounced as Indra. It should be pronounced as Indira. So Indira by Lakshmi Devi in the avatar of Rukmini, in the form of Rukmini, Yat Sevanena, the fear of Rukmini, the fear was destroyed by worshipping which Devi. So Tam Tarur, the Adideva Tarunim Sharanam Gatosmi, I take refuge under that Taruni. So under the mistress of primeval Lord Parameshwara. So here Srimad Bhagavatam 53rd chapter, Rukmini Kalyanam. So that chapter, so some shlokas of that have been explained here. So with this I would like to conclude. So explain Pananuna, there is so much to explain, so it keeps going for hours and hours together. So the entire range of Durga Chandrakala Stuti, because it is beyond the scope of this 1 hour lecture, I would like to finish it with this. Hara Namah Parvati Pataye, Hara Hara Mahadeva.